Hey, Brixel! So, when the Guild Wars 2 player base said, can we have a 2023 roadmap? ANET really said, nah, we got roadmap at home. And, of course, in classic ANET fashion, they dropped this new roadmap for the roadmap the evening I wrote the script. So prepare for a longer one today, because we're talking the roadmap for the roadmap, this week's world versus world changes, and is Guild Wars 2 not gay enough for you? Anyway, before we get into it, be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment for the algorithm. And if you haven't already, ding the thing. Big love to my patrons, and with that, let's get to that spicy, inflammatory headline y'all clicked on. So, as we all know, 'tis the season again. The nominations for the most important annual award show in media has finally dropped, and already the world is debating who will win, who's gonna get that shiny accolade. That's right, the GLAAD Awards are here, and I for one am pumped! Wait, what? You thought I was talking to... Who the fuck is Oscar? Wait, you mean that slap-happy circle jerk where Hollywood gets together each year to take a massive dump on the animation industry? Fuck that nonsense. Pixar. Okay, but seriously, the nominations for the 34th Annual Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation Media Awards are out. Awesome. Okay, so why am I bringing this up? Well, to be honest, and despite my previous gag, I had no idea the GLAAD Awards were even going down, had it not been for former Guild Wars 2 lead narrative designer and prolific tweeter, Tom Abernathy. For real, his thumbs must be jacked. It took me forever to find this tweet again. So, Abernathy tweeted out, glad to see at GLAAD Award nominations this AM, but I'm stunned as to how Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons, which features multiple queer characters and a same-sex marriage proposal, didn't rate a nom. We talked for the last 3 years about submitting End of Dragons. They wanted us to. What happened? Now, I have no idea what happened behind the scenes in terms of submitting End of Dragons, but we have to agree that Guild Wars 2 really should have gotten a nomination. And look, before anyone gets snarky, I know I've complained about Guild Wars 2 not getting awards in the past, but this really is different. I mean, come on, Guild Wars 2 is like really, really gay. Okay, listen, speaking as a card-carrying member of the queer community, Guild Wars 2 means a lot to me. Its efforts to represent as broad a spectrum of humanity as possible is, I believe, exactly what makes this community so special. More to the point, the game has had multiple gay characters from the beginning, and this is what really sets the game apart. They were always characters that aren't defined by their sexuality. And while we're talking representation, let's not forget the fact that the game has had some of the best realized non-binary characters I've ever seen. I mean, this is a fucking NB Elder Dragon. Look, I could go on and on about the representation in Guild Wars. So I will. Exhibit A. Most companies throw up a rainbow pride profile picture each June for some rainbow capitalism. ANET, well, they got the rainbow all year round. Exhibit B. The community hold a pride parade in-game every year. And Exhibit C, as Abernathy mentioned, we had a gay proposal on screen. And I mean, the relationship between Kaith and Fowlin is integral to the plot. What on God's glittery earth does Guild Wars have to do to get a nomination? Alright, I hear you. You're saying that maybe the games that did actually get a nomination are, in fact, so much gayer than Guild Wars 2 that they actually physically radiate shafts of rainbow light. Okay, fair enough. So let's take a look, shall we? What do we got here? We have Apex Legends, Desta, The Memories Between, Haven, I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, Need for Speed Unbound, Signalis, The Quarry, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, World of Warcraft Dragonflight, and Wildflowers. Now, okay, I'm not gonna say these games lack representation, but can anyone honestly tell me that Need for Speed Underground, World of Warcraft, or Apex Legends have better representation than Guild Wars 2? But fine, playing devil's advocate, I guess I can see some areas where Guild Wars 2 could be more inclusive. For example, it should be standard for body type and voice to be separate in character creation. It's also pretty silly that hairstyles are gender locked. But in my opinion, these details are really just relics of when the game first launched. 2012 was a very different time, and with that being said, I've often thought that if the game had released today, it would offer far more unrestricted character customization. Hell, I'm willing to bet that if the game released now, all Sylvari would be non-binary. I mean, why the hell do they have genders in the first place? That's weird. Anyway, I've raged against the machine long enough. Good luck to the games that were nominated, and I guess I'll see y'all back here next year. Moving on. Okay, so as I mentioned at the top of this video, Wednesday evening, the day I initially wrote the script, ANET heard our cries of roadmap, and in response, they tweeted this out. Hi all, we know that you're eager for the next studio update and want to let you know that we're working hard on it. We're going to share a look at our 2023 plans for Guild Wars 2 in just a few weeks, and we have plenty for you to look forward to in the meantime. Friday, January 27th, we'll share an outline of the quality of life changes coming to World vs. World on January 31st. February 3rd, we'll have a preview of the next Guild Wars 2 balance update. Keep an eye on this channel for all the news. For now, here's a little sneak peek at what the studio is working on, which was accompanied by a .jpeg, which Twitter user @Olanok kindly super enhanced with their CSI computer. And it says... Okay, so it's clear that ANET had no intention to release the roadmap so early, and as Alejandro said in my previous video regarding the topic, but ANET has never dropped a roadmap this early in the year. I don't get why so many people are going insane about this. And you know what? You are kinda right. However, ANET did grace us with some info, so let's go over it. Now, this show takes an incredibly long time to produce, so since the initial roadmap drop, they have in fact released the outline of the changes coming to World vs. World. So, what are they? We're adding a set of weekly achievements that reward players for active and positive contribution to World vs. World. For example, capturing objectives, taking down Dolyaks, and defeating enemy players. Completing these achievements each week will reward players with 8 gold and up to 35 additional World vs. World skirmish claim tickets. Next up, Sieges is seeing changes, making Flame Rams and Ballista more durable. The duration and range on the Flame Ram's Iron Will skill are both also being increased to help relieve pressure on assaulters, while the range on the Ballista's reinforcing shot is also being increased to help improve its ability to destroy siege weapons on objectives. We'd like to see the Warclaw being used more frequently in objective assault, so we're doubling the damage that its chain pull inflicts on gates. Badass. Next up on the objectives front, the base maximum supply limit for keeps and Stonemist Castle, as well as the supply limit increases granted from the T1 to T3 upgrades, are being reduced. These changes are intended to cut down on some of the time that objective assaulters spend chipping away at an objective supply reserves. However, to compensate, we've increased the health of all supply Dolyaks to make them easier to defend, and we've increased the amount of supply that each successful delivery gives to Stonemist Castle and the keeps. The base maximum supply levels for camps have also been increased, as well as the amount of supply the camps generate every 30 seconds, making them a more reliable supply source. So from this, it's clear that ANET have a vision for how World vs. World should be played and where it should be played. With these changes, it's clear that they're attempting to lock down the areas that you're going to see the most action. These changes are coming in preparation for the World vs. World restructuring we're expecting to see later this year. But ANET did assure us that we'll get a more comprehensive update on the World restructuring and alliances in Q1 this year. So while we didn't get a roadmap, I do believe ANET gave us all the information they could give us, and I respect that. They'll give us a roadmap when they're ready, and in the meantime, we are getting a balance patch overview on the 3rd. Okay, so it's been a long week and a long episode, so let's write it out with the comment left on my last video from none other than Swibby, my Discord and stream mod. Links are in the description. Swibby says, it's always a good sign when hiring posts are made for a game studio, especially currently where companies like Xbox are conducting rolling layoffs and Blizzard are doing Blizzard things. I'm keen to see what they've been working on, especially if it's a season 6 of The Living World, to fill the content gap we're facing right now while they develop the 4th expansion. It's a damn shame what's been happening in the gaming industry these past few weeks, especially everything in Blizzard. So seeing ANET hiring and ANET devs actively tweeting about available positions is incredibly encouraging. My thoughts go out to those affected by the situation, and we cannot wait to see what projects you guys work on in the very near future. But that, my friends, is where I'm going to leave it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're looking for more in-depth Guild Wars 2 info, as well as info on the builds I play, check out heartstuck.gg. Heartstuck has the best guides, builds, and more in Tyria. And while you're at it, check out my Twitch. I stream Guild Wars 2 and a few other games every week, unless the government says no. A huge shout out to my patrons and supporters over on Twitch, and an even huger shout out to my Guardian tier supporters, Anthony Hodgson, Liam Poulos, and Brain Not Bright. Thank you so much. You guys make the end of the month a little less scary. And with that, I'll see you guys next week with the Balance Patch preview. But for now, Brixel loves you very much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.